Good afternoon, Hope Crew. I just wanted to say hi, and I want to appreciate everybody who's been subscribing. I'm at almost 30 subscribers, and yesterday I started out with 14. So I am thanking you all, and I just am in awe, and I'm excited to see what God's going to do. Today I decided to go in a different direction. I was going to do a unboxing because I ordered a new mic and it came in, but I guess this is the direction that God put me in. He wanted me to tell you this little story. It's just a little story about when my mom actually broke a ceramic vase and she couldn't glue it together correctly. It was just really, the glue was all bumpy and she couldn't get it smoothed out. And so she brought it to me, and I'm like, oh no, I don't know what to do. So basically, I just began to scrape off that glue that was clumpy. And then I had some plaster of Paris and I mixed it up and I spackled all the cracks in the vase. And then I lightly sanded it with some fine grit sandpaper. And then after that, I had her paint, because it was like sunflowers on the vase or the pitcher. And so she painted the sunflowers exactly the same color and everything. And there was still some cracks. You could still see cracks in the vase. And then after she painted it, I had some ceramic like top coat, so I spray painted it. And it's not perfect. It still has the cracks in it, but it's put together. That's how a lot of us are. We have cracks. We were broken and God put us back together. We're not perfect. We still see those lines. We still see the cracks. But we know that we're put together by God's hands. You know, yesterday I was at work, and some of the girls are passing around this button that says, smile, pass it on. And I'm like, I already smile. You could tell because I got these laugh lines. And they're like, oh, okay. I said, yeah, because a smile takes more muscles than a frown. And I'm like, I think that's right. Yeah, that is right. And I said, well, I have a lot of laugh lines because I smile a lot at work. Even though it's hard for me to smile, I smile a lot. Also, I didn't want to say this, but one of my hurts is that when I was 7 years old, my mother got remarried, and nobody wanted to come to her wedding. I came to her wedding. Why didn't my brothers didn't want to come to her wedding? My two older brothers, and see, I was 7, middle child was 8, and the oldest was 9. But they didn't want to come to the wedding. Do you know why? Because my stepdad is black. I don't know why. They just didn't want to come to the wedding. So I was the only one. And I remember getting ready, and I never wore a dress in my life. Well, when I was little, I did. And my mama got me a dress to wear. And I put it on backward. And my grandma's like, oh, honey, you got that dress on backwards. And she started laughing. I was like, I didn't know. But I was raised by my stepdad since I was 7 years old. So if I revert to talking like I'm black, don't get offended. It's just because that's how I was raised and where I was raised. But when I was when my mama got married, it was very hard because my white grandma told me never to tell anybody that my stepdaddy was black. So it was so hard for me to take that from my grandma because I didn't know any better. I didn't care that he was black. Who cared? I didn't care. I was 7 years old. And so when my mom and stepdad would pick me up to go visit with them on the weekend, if it was daylight, I would hide in the back seat. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was going to cry. But I think about that, and I knew that they knew that I was hiding. Because, like I said, I had empathy since I've been a child. So I knew that they knew. In my later years, I apologized. But, he didn't care because he was my dad. He raised me like his own. Later in my 40s, my mom and my stepdad, they divorced. And when they got divorced, my stepdad said, I never want to see any of you ever again. This is my dad. And he said, I never want to see you again. Later, about 2 years ago, he came into my work with my mother. And he asked for forgiveness. And I wasn't able to tell him, talk to him and tell him, I've already forgiven you. You're my daddy. My second daddy. So that's why I say we all have cracks that we don't see. But I wasn't going to go into all that. I was just going to talk about the vase or the pitcher to give you some encouragement. But if you lasted this long, thank you. And thank you for the subscribers. Give my channel a thumbs up and subscribe.